Shockley. He'll be speaking from the Competent Communication Manual, speech number, or project number 5, which is Your Body Speaks. He is our resident know-how on all things self-talk. Please help me welcome with his speech, Mr. Doubt Fear, Ron Shockley.
Thank you very much. Good evening. We've talked about fear a ton. And there's some things that we've talked about and it's very easy to admit. I admitted that I'm afraid of dogs. I admitted I'm afraid of snakes. Most people, the number one thing that people are afraid of is public speaking. Now, we're all here working on that. Tonight we're going to talk about some fears that we don't like to admit. The things that we doubt about ourselves. So I passed out some 3x5 cards, and I would like you to say the phrase, I am not blank enough. So whatever your card is, please say, I am not, and then fill it in. Let's start with Fern.
I am not confident enough.
I am not tan enough.
I am not pretty enough.
I'm not skinny enough.
I have 2 cards.
Okay, read both of them.
Read both of them?
Sure.
No, don't.
I am not old enough. For what? I'm not old enough and I'm not smart enough.
Oh. Drake?
I am not strong enough.
Oh.
Not tall enough.
Oh.
I am not young enough.
And I am not old enough. Oh, we already had that one, didn't we? These are all lies that we tell ourselves, that we are not whatever enough. Now, those are fears, because we doubt ourselves, and that doubt builds up that fear in us, so then we stray away from those things. Things that we fear, that is a doubt about ourselves, we fear rejection. So there's plenty of things that we won't do because we're concerned that we won't be accepted, that somehow we might be rejected. So let's just talk about your first love when you were in grade school, high school, whenever it was. How long did it take you to even let that person know what your name was? For most of us, it was a while. Because you feared the rejection. What if they didn't like me? What if they didn't want to talk to me? The things that you fear. And what did we really want? We wanted acceptance. The best way to get acceptance is to be accepting. To be that person that is accepting. The next thing we fear is inadequacy. I am not good enough. And really, that's what all of those things that we passed around are. We're not good enough. That's a lie that we constantly tell ourselves. So we need to be reminded constantly, and it started with our parents, that yes, you are pretty, you are confident, you are big enough, you are strong enough, you are whatever enough. Our kids need to hear that. Well, as adults, we need to hear that too. So we need to surround ourselves by those people that are going to tell us that we are good enough. Next one is the fear of the unknown. I don't know what to expect. Am I ready? Becoming a new father, am I ready for that? I don't think any of us are ready for kids when they come, but we figure it out real quick. We go to the internet, we look it up, how to be a dad, how do you change a diaper? We look those things up, because we are never ready. However, we have been taught, we know how to do these things. The fear of being alone. I met plenty of people that go from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship, because they have that need. I have to be with somebody constantly. It's because they're not comfortable with who they are. And they try to find that in somebody else all the time. So how do we work on that? We become comfortable in our own skin. And that's a struggle that we all have. Does anybody want to admit it? No, we don't. Isolation. The fear of being isolated. Being alone. Kind of similar to that. That leads to depression. And as we get depressed, we kind of seclude ourselves, we withdraw, and we become closed off. So then if you look at your circle of people around you, you can probably count them on one hand. These are probably the 5 people that I spend the most time with. Some of us, it's maybe only 3 people. What's the cause of that? How come we don't branch out? And how come we don't include more people? Because we have that fear of being alone or being accepted. And what we do is we draw back and back and back into our comfort zone. And the longer we stay in our comfort zone, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So you got to step out of that comfort zone and get into bigger crowds. Next, I'm going to introduce you to Mrs. I Am Enough. So what you give is what you receive. The greatest gift that you can give is your friendship. If you want friends, be friendly. Communicate. Be open. Be welcome. The biggest thing you can give is your friendship. There's nothing more inspiring than affirming that what somebody else is doing matters. It's great to be nice, but it's also nice for somebody to tell you that they appreciate what you're doing. So be that person and share that you appreciate what somebody else is doing. Self-worth comes from investing in others, for that is where our value is revealed. So as you invest in somebody else, let's just take a kid for instance. As you invest in a kid and you tell them that they're pretty and you tell them that they're beautiful, and the next day they come out of their room and they got their new dress on, their new shoes on, smiling ear to ear, they've received that. They've taken that on board. They believe those things that you tell them, and you have to constantly do that. Our surroundings shape our perspective. In Toastmasters, we're in an encouraging environment. The clapping, it builds up our, we can call it an ego, but there's a good ego and a bad ego. This is a good ego, so you get that confidence, the things that you're taking on board. So again, surround yourself in those places that are going to encourage you. When you add value to others, you enjoy the dividends of joy and happiness. So again, invest, add, and those things that you give away, it's amazing how they come back to you. So you're not alone. We all have those doubts and those fears, and we hear the whispers and the voices. We're all going to face some struggles, and the best thing to do is to talk about them. The first step to solving a problem is admitting that you have one. Find a confidant and share your struggles. We all have them. We need to talk about them. Guys, we're the worst at it. I don't want to talk to anybody about the things that I struggle, but it's the thing that helps the most. Affirmation breeds confidence. Confidence starves doubts. So again, give the affirmation, you'll receive the affirmation. And remember, it doesn't matter what other people say about you, it's what you believe. Madam Toastmaster.